Hey guys, fala galera, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking through what's next in the flyweight division. Before we get started, I have all the fighters in the top 10 off to the side, so I'll drag them in as we get through the video. Currently there's only 2 fights booked in the flyweight division top 10, and let's get into it. First off, we have Muhammad Mokaev fighting Alex Perez. Muhammad's on an 11 fight win streak and has 1 win inside the top 15 against Tim Elliott by submission. Alex Perez is 24-7 and hasn't won a fight since 2020. He also hasn't fought in 2 years, and his last 2 fights he's lost by submission. So this is an interesting matchup. Next up, we've got Matt Schnell versus Steve Urquhart. Matt Schnell is 16-7 and is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. And Shane Erceg is 11-1 and has 2 fights in the UFC, both wins inside the top 15. Personally, I think Steve wins this fight by decision. His 2 fights in UFC, he's won by unanimous decision, and Schnell is on a bit of a skid, being 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Outside these 2 fights, there's nothing else booked in the flyweight division, so let's start booking some fights. First up, we have number 6 ranked Cape. He's 19-6 and on a 4 fight win streak. He was last booked to fight Matheus Nicola, but missed weight, so that fight was cancelled. Personally, I think the next step forward for him is to fight Kai France, who's 24-11. Unfortunately, he's on a 2 fight losing streak. I think this is the next fight to book for both these fighters, and personally, I think Kai France is going to get the win. Next up, we have number 5 ranked Matheus Nicola. He's currently 19-4 in the UFC and is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He's coming off a loss against Brandon Royval, who's the number 1 ranked contender in this division. Personally, I think he should be fighting Brandon Moreno next. Brandon Moreno is 21-8 and the former champ. He's on a 2 fight losing streak, losing to Pantoja, who is the current title holder, and Brandon Royval last week, who is now the number 1 contender. Personally, I think Brandon Moreno is going to get the victory over Nicola, which leaves Moreno in a good spot to challenge for the title. Next up, we have the number 1 contender, Brandon Royval. He's just beaten Brandon Moreno in the last week by unanimous decision. He's setting himself up for a title shot. Personally, I think he needs to fight Amir Albazi next in a title eliminator. It'll be a very interesting 5-round fight. And let's get to the champ. Pantoja is in a bit of a difficult position at the moment. He's recently beat Brandon Moreno and Brandon Royval in his last 2 fights. So I think he should fight the winner of Amir Albazi and Brandon Royval, which will be Albazi, in my opinion. This fight will happen, and the winner will be Pantoja. That's where I see the flyweight division going. But hey, I'm not Dana White, so oil them up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who would you match up against each other? And see you in the next one. Alright, peace.